Hello, ladies and gents. This is Jamie Little Tallulah Poetspice, and I'm here to do the NANO Writing collab with my gals today. This is our first planning video of the month. We did an intro video on the 1st of October, and so this now is planning and prepping and tips and so forth for this video, and then 2 weeks later, and then of course every week in November. So definitely check out the other ladies. They'll be in the links below, and so forth. So I'm gonna hurry up and get through this because this is the second time filming this video and I ran out of time. So let me get going. First, I want to talk about a set of book hauls and books that I think might help you do some writing or give you some inspiration. And in the second half, I'm going to talk about how I have no idea what I'm doing. Woohoo! Inspiration there. Hey, but part of inspiration is also being truthful about the situation. Let's get started. I bought this book a while ago. It's called The Weekend Novelist, and it is by Robert J. Ray. And of course, I am not getting paid for any of these, so these are all my opinions. As you can see, I read partially through this, a little more than halfway. Okay. And I read it a while ago, but it was an interesting read in sections because it talks about doing your novel in 52 weekends, which is, you know, not necessarily NaNoWriMo, but it is a quick kind of, you know, do things. I'll show you the table of contents. I've seen this book around. People talk about this book still. So there's the table of contents. I know I would like to see that if I were doing a book review of this sort, because it kind of gives you an idea of what is in the book. Okay, now I can just do a flip through and how it looks as far as the design goes and various things that he talks about. There are some exercises, so as you can see, working the novel exercises. Okay, and he gives you some of those and some little details and some things to look at, and he also references other works, I believe. And yeah, so a copy of The Tourist. So you get that book and you look at the different sections that he's talking about, which of course you could check all of these out at the library usually. So I would recommend this as a read. You know, you can take it which way ever you want. Let me go with another one that I started reading but did not finish reading because I realized it was a course after looking at some other videos. So it's The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity. Now, some people talk about there's too many references to God and higher powers. I might look at what it says on the cover. Duh. So anything that says a spiritual path to something is going to reference God, whether, you know, whatever religion it is going to reference God. So like, you know, people who criticize the book for that, it's like, well, duh, did you read the title? Yeah, so if you're not into that, don't buy the book. You can't complain when she tells you flat out what is on the tape. So anyway, I only read that much, as you can see, because I got to that first, the basic tools and the spiritual electricity. So that very first part of it that starts before you do the little activities and everything that she has in it. So it was an interesting read. It does get to be a little wordy sometimes, and she does repeat herself, and definitely in that section she kind of backs off the whole spiritual thing, like, and says you don't have to use God, yada yada yada. But it's like, I don't know, don't apologize if that's what you want it to be about. If people don't like it, they don't have to buy it. So I think this would be a good read and stuff when you have time to do it, or just to look through some of the sections to see what she's talking about, and maybe that'll give you like a spark. Okay, this is the workbook that came with it for morning pages, and mine came as a set, so it was cheaper to get this set than it was to get either one apart, and it was only a little more expensive than buying the book itself. I got it on Amazon, so you could check that out. All right, so there's that. And I actually can't wait to start this, but as far as doing the coursework, but that will have to wait until after Nano. I'll probably just wait till the beginning of the year. The next one that I got that I read partially is Writing Fiction for Dummies, and I got this back in Camp Nano time, I believe. And, you know, it is the way it is for any dummies book. It's organized the same way, the same fashion. It has some tips. I will say that this one goes more into like the whole like look at your audience, look at your genre, look at how to publish it, look at your query letter, da da da. So I don't know how much that would work for NaNoWriMo, so to speak. But there are different places and sections in here, like the 3-act structure that it talks about, and scrutinizing your story, and story, let's see, there we go, 3-act structure. So that it could help you, give you some inspiration. I know that as I was reading certain sections, I did find some inspiration in it. All right, these two I have not read at all, so I could not tell you if it's a yay or nay. I do know that I bought them based on all the stuff that I heard about them, and I typically do not just buy a book because somebody refers it. I look at the reviews and all that. So the one that showed up over and over and over and over and over again and people raved about was Stephen King's On Writing, a memoir of the craft. Now, I don't know what it's like on the inside. Haven't read a lick of it. I will say I love the way it feels. Instead of being the slick stuff, it is that stuff that's like almost like a moleskin leather type thing. It's not leather, but it, you know what I'm talking about. It has that like rubbery, leathery feel to it. Oh, I love books like that. Woo-hoo. It's almost like woo. So I will show you the table of contents if there is one in here. The forward, second forward. I hate forwards. Just saying. I know, isn't that bad? But I hate reading them. I usually read the forward after I read the book. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's actually a table of contents in this one. But there you go. So that's that Stephen King one. This one I absolutely love. Like I said, I haven't read a lick of it, but as soon as I saw this woman's review of it, I was like, I went immediately over to Amazon and found a seller. So it is the Dictionary of Mythology, A to Z Themes, Legends, Myths, and Heroes by J.A. Coleman. And as you see, this mother is huge. Huge. Love it. So what I liked about it is, number one, it is huge. Number two, it has the legends and heroes and so forth. The little girl's in there. She might be behind the door. Okay. So it has all of these, and it doesn't just cover Greek and Roman mythology. It covers a variety of cultures and so forth. There's some writers in here too. So I like that because, you know, being ethnic myself, sometimes I would like to see things other than just, you know, your Greek and Roman stuff. So I love that book. And if you write supernatural stuff, that would be the awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay. Pull it tight though.
She's fine.
Okay. Will she sleep?
No.
Okay.
She was like, she's not past the douche
Mm-hmm. See, we're still in the stage of like acclimating the two cats. Oh, so while I'm working on this, the one cat is locked in the bathroom so that my big cat can feel some relief from having to share her space. Okay, so I don't know if I said this one or not, but this is one of my top reading books. I love it. Ray Bradbury is one of my favorite authors, and I read this whole book. So, The Zen and the Art of Writing. He is definitely an author who loves writing. He loves his trade. He loves the craft. He loves experimenting. He's not afraid to experiment, and he's pretty much like, you either like it or you don't. So what? I wrote it, which is, you know, I love that. And I find inspiration in that. And so he's also very descriptive. So he does have that kind of writing in here as well. So I absolutely do recommend this book, as well as Writing Down the Bones, which I don't have with me because it is at work for my creative writing class. So there you go with my book reviews. I would definitely say, if you have some money, check them all out. If you don't, go to your local library and check it out. Now let me talk about what I really have no idea what I'm doing. I still haven't decided what I'm going to plan or write in. Here is my big book that you guys have been seeing that I made with that placemat and my little charm, and it's got the stuff I've been working on, and you see a progress video. Here's my October scheduling going on here and all that. So there's my page. Now I do have a section here for Bible reading, which I have been slacking on terribly so far this month. This month has been crazy. And then I do have this writing piece back here. And as you can see, slacking on that as well. So I can't decide whether I want to use this to do actual writing and planning for NANO, but it's really big and I don't know if I want to carry all that. Right? Great. The next thing is I made one of these last year, and then I made another one for Camp Nano, which is an envelope junk journal. You guys know I love doing my junk journals. Junk journals, yeah. But what I'm noticing is that I prefer the smaller pages. This I got from your list, and I love it. I prefer writing on the smaller pages. Number one, it makes me feel like I have done more work. And number two, it's easier to carry. You know, you can easily put it in a lunch bag or something like that and go. But at the same time, any of the planning stuff would be really small, and I want to put some magazine pictures and stuff, which I'm going to show you on my next video. Some magazine pictures and so forth for character references and everything, and this is small. So, yeah, you know, trying to figure that out. Then I have this. You guys remember this cover, right? Yes, yes. Love this cover. And then what I put on the inside was notes about creative writing course, and I had some paper left over from here. This was just this time zone list thing that she sent to me, and then this is one of the inserts that I made that was for writing, and I have some writing in it, but not a whole lot. It's not totally filled up. There's some pieces, but it's not filled up. So it would make me not feel like I'm not starting from scratch. And then on the other strap, I put this book, which I want to say Glow got me. And I actually went and numbered all the pages so that I could use it sort of like people have been using those Hobonichi bullet journals. But I'm not paying that Hobonichi money. I saw how much those things were, and I'm like, heck, freaking no. No. So I just set this up like so I could have the index with the page numbers on anything that I was writing. So if I did some planning or something, or I did a scene, I could just go ahead and do the correlation here. But once again, it's kind of larger than I want, and I'm just not sure what I'm going to do yet. And as of now, I still have no ideas. So there you go. I just feel like, to be honest, I just feel like my brain has dried up, and then I have like no creativity left when it comes to stories. Poetry, yes, but writing fiction, I don't know. And I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to do nonfiction or fiction, or whether I'm going to do both. My original plan was to do both. So anyway, thanks for watching. Go check out the other ladies. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time to give you an update on our planning, and then I'll have some more stuff for you then. So have a good day. Happy Nano. Go check out the other ladies. Bye.